Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Village Hall. We do this from time to time. By the way, my name is Paul Pereira. I'm the mayor of the Village of Mineola. We have Deputy Mayor Janine Sartori, Trustee Donna Soloski, Trustee Paul Casato, and Trustee Jeff Clark. And we wanted to just take an opportunity to recognize the accomplishment of our girls' varsity softball team, the Mineola High School varsity softball team. Before we get into the brief presentation, I just have to tell you two stories. Number one, I kind of predicted this years ago with Mr. Rowan and Mr. Malone on the fields of the MAA when my daughter played with the 6 girls, I think, who are sophomores on the varsity team now. And I just didn't know that it would happen this soon, but I knew that it was going to happen, and I predicted it, many of us did. The problem with this is that now, girls, you have 2 more years to up the ante, so I expect you guys to be back here real soon. And secondly, the last time that a Mineola softball team, and this has been spoken about, was 1998. We have Trustee Casato, his daughter Kristen was on that team, Alexandra Griswold's mom, and I drove up that day in my 1995 Jeep Wrangler to watch the game in Clifton Park. They played Shenandoah, I believe. They lost 1-0, and the name of the other pitcher was Barb. I remember that. And our pitcher was Katie Zuno, and it was an amazing game. It was literally a no-hitter to the end, and one of our star hitters, Leslie Brown, unfortunately broke her nose off a bunt. The bunt bunted her back in the face. And I remember all that. And we were so proud of those accomplishments. I remember the Long Island Championship was at Mitchell Field, and we won. Mr. Block was the assistant coach at the time. So those are great memories for me, and hopefully we won't have to wait another 27 years for the next one. But just know that this board, this village, this teacher, this former coach is so proud of your accomplishments. I knew that you could do it all those years ago when we were watching you play, Little League. I still have videos of many of you on my phone. So we are so proud, so impressed with your accomplishments, and we just wanted to take a few minutes to recognize you and to let you know that we are aware of your accomplishments and we celebrate them. But before we present you with some tokens of our appreciation, I would ask Coach Wink and Coach DeGennaro and Coach Smith, if they're here, to please come up. And Coach Wink is just going to give us, because this is televised, so is going to give us a little recap of the season, the ups, the downs, and the highlights of this amazing run to the Nassau County Championship. Coach, come on up.
There certainly is some pressure now. Who knew? All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Board of Trustees. It's great to see you all. Administrators, Mineola community members. My name is Monique Wink, and I am the very proud coach of this amazing softball team. Our varsity squad this year consists of 8th grader Daniela Porcelli, sophomores, 6 of them, very young team. Haley Diaz, Gianna Rose Leggio, Hava Lopez, Autumn Malone, Sage Rowan, and Cassidy Fitzgerald. Our juniors, Kira Vescovi, Amanda Baker, and Juliana Plunkett. And our 3 incredible seniors, Juliana Speranza, Carrie Alvarenga, and Kira Santaniello. Our assistant coaches, Bill DeGennaro and Priscilla Smith. And I'm very happy, as you have all heard, this is your new Class A 2025 Nassau County champions. It has been quite a year. If you read any of the papers, and we got a lot of press, it was very nice. I was very appreciative of them. They pointed out one glaring fact. We went on a 13-game losing streak. Insane. But what's really hard to articulate through the newspaper is the caliber of the teams that we actually end up playing throughout that time. Our varsity softball team, since I have been here, has worked their way up to a very competitive Conference 2, and Nassau County Softball does what's called ability-based ranking. So Conference 2 would be just below the 6 teams in Conference 1, and we even play some crossover games against Conference 1 teams. So that means we get matched up with AAA very, very big schools. Double A, bigger than us schools. Softball powerhouses like Massapequa and Oceanside and Syosset and Farmingdale, teams that are consistently the biggest and the best. Some of them who have reserve rosters, substitute rosters that are larger than our entire roster. So it's a really big piece that they fail to mention, but it's very important. They also fail to mention in all these articles the fight that this little 13-player team put up against some of these big, successful programs, the most successful on Long Island. And the hardest part for me to articulate to them is that, in reality, this team exceeded all of our expectations during that 13-game losing streak, every single one. For us, we preach control the controllables and focus on the process and not the result. We expect them to compete, we expect them to grow, and we expect them to be great people. Those are all controllables, and these 13 girls have done just that every day since March 17th. With a schedule like this, though, this team was battle-tested and very gritty, and all we had to do was get to May 17th, our quarterfinal round, to show our stuff in our very own class where the schools are the same sizes as us. The Mustangs started this spectacular playoff run on that day against the Wheatley Wildcats, where we posted a very impressive 8-0 win. In the semifinals, Mineola takes on a very strong Wantagh Warriors in a 3-game series. I'm proud of this fact, believe it or not. They outscored us in the regular season 13-4. It's a really impressive stat when you come back and you look at the way that we played. So we take game one. I think we might have shocked them. I think that might have happened. We take game one 3-1, led by Cassidy Fitzgerald, who has 3 hits, the only 3 hits of the game, and also scores all 3 runs. That's incredible. It's really an incredible stat line, and that game, I think, set the tone for us. We come back to Mineola, and we battle in game 2 for a very competitive 9-7 loss, where I think we come back from an 8-2 deficit at some point, right? We've scored like 5 runs in the 6th or 7th inning. It was very, very impressive. And then we ultimately take game 3, 4-1. And that earns us a spot in the Nassau County Championship Series, where, like we said, this program hasn't been since 1998, 27 years, which they pointed out to me. I didn't want to do the math. That was a lot. The county championship then was a true battle against the number 1 seed and reigning 2-time county champions, the Seaford Vikings. In game 1, we competed hard, but ultimately fell 4-1, and we prepared to make adjustments against this very strong opponent. I always say that if we're anything, we will be very, very prepared. Game 2 was a 9-inning battle, and the Mustangs ultimately take this on a walk-off single by Autumn Malone, scoring Julie Plunkett. If you saw those pictures of me jumping, I'm sorry. On June 6th, we watched one of the most fantastic defensive efforts on a softball field, truly, that I have seen in a very long time. The Mustangs only allowed 1 hit to beat the Seaford Vikings 5-0 and take home the title of county champions. To this wonderful community and all of our softball families, I want to take this moment to just let you know that I am so grateful to be a part of this, and I thank you on behalf of our coaching staff, on behalf of our team, for all of your support throughout this season. Believe it or not, my expectations of you have not changed, and I told you before, I said it's going to actually get tougher, and everyone's going to say, we expect this, and we respect that, and we expect this. We expect you to grow and compete and be great people, and those things will not change. That being said, I hope to see you here again in 2026.
So I will draw from my experience a little bit, girls, and my favorite part of when I coached the 2005 boys soccer team to the state championship was how you started the season, you were practicing. Girls lacrosse is out there, boys lacrosse is out there, baseball's out there, JV softball, all this movement. And then think about this, the last day that you practiced, nobody was out there. You were all alone. And that is, for me, I remember that, football ended. for us, actually, in the fall, wrestling had started. The next season had started. Obviously, you're the last season, but that was just amazing to see that you were the last one standing. There are 56 high schools in Nassau County, and there are only 4 that are left standing, AAA, AA, A, and B. I don't know if there's any C's in Nassau County. But you get the point. There are 700 and some odd high schools in the state of New York. You were in that elite group. Unfortunately, every single team ends their season with a loss except for the state champs, but that's something for you to strive for, and you have the ability to do that. You know what it takes now. So just, stay the course with what the coach has instilled in you today, and know that there are going to be bumps in the road, and those bumps actually probably made you stronger. They prepared you, and I am a strong proponent of ability-based conferences for that very fact. You look at your score, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So kudos to you. So we're going to call you up one at a time. Deputy Mayor Sartori is going to give you a certificate, and Trustee Solaski is going to give you a medal of the village. If you win the Long Island Championship next year, you'll get a key. Trustee Casado is going to give you a certificate from our New York State Senator Jack Martins, who's up in Albany, and he can't be here. It's the big ones, Mr. Casado, that say New York State on it. There you go. And those, and then I would like to, Mr. Rivera, if you could give me that one from from Mayor Airbar. So I know that not all of you are from Mineola. So how many of you are from Wilson Park? Only one. Okay, only Ava. Anyway, and we do have also representatives from the town here as well. We have our councilman, Dennis Walsh, and I'm going to ask him to give his own certificates in a little bit. But I do want to read from the mayor of Wilson Park. Unfortunately, he's in Texas visiting his grandkids. But he wrote, "Dear players, coaches, and Mineola High School administration, on behalf of myself and the Village of Wilson Park Board of Trustees, we congratulate you on your amazing accomplishment of becoming the 2025 Nassau County champions. We know that this achievement requires an immense amount of determination, grit, and teamwork, and you are to be commended for all." So he has a certificate for the team. That's Mayor Paul Airbar from Wilson Park. Okay? So I'm going to call you in the order that they sent the roster over. I think it's by jersey number. So we'll start with senior Kira Santaniello. Is Kira here? She's getting ready for the prom tomorrow. Okay. Is Kyrie Alvarenga here? There you go. Hi, Kyrie. Congratulations. But mine are in alphabetical order, so yeah, they should be. No? Yes. Did you shuffle them? Yeah. They should. And just stay up here because then we're going to get a group photo, okay? Juliana Speranza, is Juliana here? No, she's also getting ready for the prom. Okay. I figured that. Juliana Plunkett. Yes. She's our catcher. Congratulations. There you go. And Kira Vescovi. Junior second baseman, I think, Amanda Baker. Yeah. And Gianna Gigi Leggio, who is our first baseman. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what, I didn't get to keep up with a lot of the games in person, but I did so by watching this next person's father's Facebook posts, and a friend of mine, and I'm so proud of her accomplishments, Autumn Otto Malone, the pitcher. I knew you back when. Another superstar sophomore, shortstop, Cassidy Fitzgerald, not here. Playing softball in Missouri. There you go. And someone who was, hitting bombs back in like 3rd or 4th grade, plays center field, I think, Sage Rowan. Center field. another sophomore who's, I guess, I don't know if they measure exit velocity, but every time I see her hit the ball. And by the way, I was there for the Wheatley game. I was getting my car washed. It was a car wash, remember that? And I saw you guys get like a 4-0, and it was raining a little bit. But Ava Lopez. And I think that's the entire infield, right? All sophomores?
The entire infield, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we're all coming back. And then another sophomore, Haley Diaz. And last but not least, Daniela Porcelli, who's an 8th grader. 8th grader, congratulations. And our head coach, and I hope that our head coach doesn't do what the coach did, who I liked, she was a friend of mine, but after she won the Long Island Championship, she only coached another year, and then she left. I mean, I guess there's something to be said for going out on top, but I think Coach Wink has done a great job. I hope that she stays with this program for a long time, and so we'd like to recognize Coach Wink as well. So I've told this story, he's heard it a million times, but a dear friend of mine, our daughters were born on the same day at the same hospital in rooms next to each other, and we were texting each other on November 18th, 2009, Mr. DeGennaro, the assistant coach. I told him to stop screaming so loud. And the JV coach and assistant coach, Priscilla Smith. Thank you. And last but not least, this gentleman has been somewhat of a good luck charm. He's become our athletic director 2 years ago, and in those 2 years, he's won 2 Long Island championships, a county championship. So I don't know. I think it took Mr. Amatrano probably 25 years to win the same amount, if that. So he's done a great job. But I will mention that my team did beat his Valley Stream South team in the semifinals in 2005. He was the goalie. 2006, then they went back and they won. So we do have something for Mr. McCann as well. So our athletic director, Mr. McCann. And I would like to call up Dennis Walsh, our town councilman, graduate of Mineola High School. When he went to school, the balls were made of stone, and the bath. Did you guys ever see the Flintstones? That's a kidding. Come on up, Mr. Walsh.
You know, thank God some people were older than me, because Paul Casado graduated 2 years before I did. I graduated Mineola High School in 1968, and I started there in '64, and that was the second. You started in '62, so the first year that Mineola High School was opened up in 1962, Paul was a freshman, and 2 years later I was a freshman. So I know the building very well. We also have 23 proclamations to give out here, and I don't know if I should read all the names again, but we'll hand them out. But I just want to tell you that, usually it is the boys' teams that excel, but not this time. You know, and I actually live in this village. I live between here and Williston Park since 1955, so I know this area very well, and I'm very proud of you all. And I just want to make one short reference for you. Maybe some of you know or may not know who Margaret Thatcher was, and you can Google the name later. Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of England from around 1978 or 79 till 1990. And she's the longest serving Prime Minister in England. And at the same time, women really, in many ways, ran the world, because Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of what they claimed to be the largest democracy in the world, India. And Golda Meir was Prime Minister of Israel. And Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister of England, so you don't see that anymore, and things were probably much better with women in charge. But Margaret Thatcher once said, when addressing the United Nations General Assembly, if you want a speech, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. You know, and I really believe I believe that that applies to every one of you, and I'm sure that you'll all do great in life, because it's not easy to dedicate yourself to being a softball champion and to go to all these practices, go to all these games. And I'd also like to congratulate the coaches that I'm sure put your heart and soul into this. So we have proclamations from the town of North Hempstead for each one of you. I won't mention your name again. The supervisor, Jen DeSena, can't be here because she's in Port Washington doing the same thing we're doing here. And so from the town of North Hempstead, the people of North Hempstead, and from me personally, I really congratulate you and thank you very much for representing Mineola High School so well. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask, we could just give those to the coaches. The coaches know the kids much quicker, so they can just hand them out. And then girls, we're going to ask like some of you to come up here, maybe take a knee or just, and we'll take like a group photo with the coaches, the elected officials, parents. Yep, so let's do it high order, alphabetical, okay? These are teams. All right. All right. Billy, take a knee. I'll hold the Lily. Yes. We have 3 very exciting hearings coming up, so if you'd like to stay and enjoy, you're more than welcome to stay.